much pressure, and the glider will open and fly. Not enough pressure, it'll start blowing and rolling down the beach.
Ah, okay.
And this is kind of pushing it. Notice it's opening it right in front of the truck. You would not want to do this. So you want to be super careful. So I'm going to aim when I get drug, or if I get drug, I'm going to try and go between the truck and that go-kart there, golf cart. So you got to have a plan of what you're going to do when you start getting drugged. And be prepared. Although, with this being a small Dominator, I should be good to go. Okay. No brakes in the hands. Now I'm going to pop it till it opens. Weight shift. Lift low side A's. Came up straight because I made it come up straight. Gliders do not come up straight. It doesn't work that way. So it came up straight because I told it to. I'll show you that again as soon as Trevor gets out of my way. So this is the part that many of you have not really been doing yet. Just lifting it up with the A's. First of all, notice the right side of my glider is higher than the left. Hey, you guys want to come up a little closer so I can talk a little quieter? Like stand behind me though. So notice the right side of the glider is taller than the left side. So I walk towards the high side. Notice the left side's too high, I walk towards the high side. But notice I'm going back and forth. I'm not going forwards or backwards, because if I go backwards, the glider tries to fly. If I go forwards, it'll catch air under the wing. See how the trailing edge is starting to flutter? It'll catch air and it'll flip upside down and it'll end up with a mess. You want to hold the perfect loading right about there. Now, when a glider's in front of you, you don't lean, you turn. So I'm going to turn towards the low side. I'm going to lift the low A. I start with both A's. Notice no pressure at all until I'm ready. And I'm going to hit it all at once. I'm going to lift the low side A. I'm going to turn towards the low side, and I'm going to walk towards the low side. Here we go. Drop my butt, lift A, turn right, lift, bam, up she comes. Perfect. So it was that weight shift that made it come up right. You see supers bring up the glider, and it just looks like it comes up straight every time, but it doesn't. It comes up crooked, and we fix it every time. And we fix it instantly that fast with all those little pieces that have to be right. Step out of the way, guys. Bringing it down. As you bring it up, you said you're leaning. Turning, not leaning. Because if I leaned...
Oh, no leaning, just turning.
Yeah. See, if you see the height of those risers, if I turn, notice how one riser is shorter than the other. That is weight shift. If I lean, it does nothing because the glider's in front of you. Leaning only works when it's above you. And when it's above you, turning does nothing. That's why you yell, don't turn. Because when it's above you, you have to lean to change the height. But when it's in front of you, you have to turn. So now I'm going to lift both A's to start, get it started, and I'm going to start quickly. Then I'm going to lift the low side and fly the low side up. Bolt it first, lift left, right, bolt, brakes, up the sheet. And there we go. Do it again. All while turning towards the low side. There we go, side step right. See, all these things, they should get to the point. I mean, I'm not even thinking about it, and I'm automatically fixing left and right, forwards and backwards, loading, feeling it. Get it loaded, A's, hit it hard, lift right, turn right, walk right, right brake, fix it. Bam, it took me 6 feet, 7 feet that time, so that took me a little bit to fix it. Brake, stall it, hands up, which if you notice, we don't just bury the brakes and hold them buried. You stall it with as little brake as you can get away with. Once it stalls, you put your hands back up so the glider will reinflate. Then you just feather it to the ground. Right before it hits the ground, I pull brakes again to pull the trailing edge under. Okay, here we go. Get my glider stable. center, so I'm walking left. Left side's too high. I go right. Oop, right side's too high. Left, right. I level my glider. What does leveling my glider do? I put the wind exactly on my back. So if the wind is blowing from the side, that's why that side's too high. The wind is crooked. And so by centering the glider, I now put the wind exactly straight from my back. Okay, here we go. Notice I can't bounce. If I'm bouncing around and jerking, yo, 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 it's gonna jerk the glider. So you have to be very smooth and balanced. Reach for my A's, hit hard, lift, turn, up, brake.
You guys see how he dropped his butt?
That's drop the butt. And of course, notice I slide forwards. I don't walk forwards, I slide. If you walk, it can accelerate you faster than you can run, and you end up on your face. The next thing is if you're walking, you cannot pull a consistent load. Your foot touches and you load, you just can't give the glider proper loading. When you're sliding, you're giving consistent load because it's dragging your body weight. Okay, so watch the stall. I'm going to pull brakes till it stalls. Stalls, and bam, hands up, and then brake when it's down. Pop, pop, get it open, level my glider, ease the brakes off slowly so it doesn't fly, and drop my butt, slide, lean, brake. Can't touch brakes till the glider's beyond about 70 degrees. If you touch brakes when it's coming up, you're going to stall the glider. So you cannot touch the brakes when it's trying to fly. Stall the glider, drop my butt to the ground, and quickly go into the brakes, stall, hands up, brakes, down she goes. Here we go. Now, I want to disable my own glider. So to disable the glider, watch the back trip. I'm going to quickly line the glider up into the wind. I have to walk backwards and to the side, like so. Line the glider up sideways to the wind. As soon as the glider disables, bam, and I can ball my glider up. If the wind starts blowing the glider, I run right along with it sideways. You only have about 8 seconds before the glider starts rolling up with the wind. Boom. Ball the glider up.
Ooh, okay.
There's my glider.
That looked easy.
It is if I do it.
Yeah.
Well,
look.
It will be as you
okay,
go forward.
now, again, these are all important pieces.
20 years. Yeah.
I set my glider down. I keep a little tension as I feather out the brakes. Quickly tension the lines. Bam, there's my tension. Careful it's not too much. Glider's going to want to fly. If I have time to find my A's, great. Now, notice that little teardrop.
Center mark is.
That's the center of the glider. So the glider's going to try and shoot off that way. So I'm going to just go ahead and turn left already because I know it's going to try and come up that way. Then I'm just going to pop the glider, give a little more left, and then fly her up straight. Slide, slide, brakes. Bam. Now, notice I missed the brake. You can grab anything on the back riser, including the back riser, including the back A's and B's. Anything. So if you grab, get something. Doesn't matter if you got a B or a D or whatever in there. Just grab something and get that glider stopped. Okay. Here we go. Glider comes down, stall. Boom. Stall, set it down, boom. And of course set it down level. Lovely. Sidestep. Now we got so much wind it's going to want to fly, but okay, here we go. A's, drop my butt, slide, brakes, boom, grab whatever, then get it okay. Glider's up. There we go. Chest right into the risers, straight away, get my stability, and go. There we go. That's it. Then, if I want to go this way, I just drop the glider this way, make the glider drag me, sliding. If I want to go the other way, I slam that brake. Let's go this way. Sliding. Sliding. Let's go the other way. Brake. Sliding. Turn left. Don't stall it. You have to use the right amount. Brake. on. If I fall right, I drop the glider left. If I fall backwards, I add more brakes.
Hang on.
If it starts dragging me, hands up. Oop, I'm falling right, I drop glider left. Bam. I fall right, I drop glider way to the left, drag myself back up. Fall right, drop glider left, boom, jump, and jump, and jump, and jump.
Wow.
Trailer jump.
Yeah. Trailer jump.
Can you make it to the trailer?
There we go. And, okay, how do I get to the trailer?
You gonna surge it?
That's right. I have to stuff a whole bunch of brake and shoot myself in the air. I'm gonna go brakes, get stable, and stuff brakes, and boom. And not enough wind. Oh, come on, man. You're just dragging me. Now, see this brake line? See that light? Ooh, very dangerous. So watch what I do. I go in, oops, pull my hand back. That pulls the lines away from that light. Little trick there. Because you do not want it to snag or it can totally cluster screw or even kill you. Little brakes, push, up. Nothing flying. Now I want to fly backwards. I can't just jump or I'll go up. I'll show you. I'm holding brakes and I jump. I just land right back where I started. So to go backwards, I have to first throw my hands up. So here we go. Surge the glider, then jump. So that I fly away from the trailer instead of back up onto the trailer. So all little pieces, just like we've started Lee doing, was the little run and jump. But the run and jump will include all of these little tiny timing things that are absolutely critical. So here we go, we run to the trailer and lots of brake. Up we go. Come on, glider, there's the stall point, limbo. There we go. So if I'm losing lift, you do the limbo. Roll my body over my feet and lift my body weight with my feet, helping the glider. If I don't have quite enough lift, like just happened, I can actually pull my hips over my butt and then lift that way. Woohoo!
Can you demonstrate weight shift?
Weight shift?
Yeah, just do weight shift.
Where?
Back there.
Right there. Weight shift. Roll the butt.
I think that's where most guys are at.
Chest in the risers. Roll the butt. Roll the butt. Roll the butt. Lift up that butt cheek. Whoop, kiss my butt. There we go. Like saying kiss my butt as a kid.
Why is it overflying?
That is loading. That's loading control. So I am raising and lowering my stance, which is a very good question. So watch, I'm going to make the glider surge. Here's the surge. I can back up. It's kind of hard because my brain faces it instantly. Okay, here we go. I go up. If I drop my stance, bam, glider surge. I outrun it, slow to a stop progressively. Now there's another piece. In order for the glider to surge, it has to have increased loading. So how do you make the glider surge? I drop my stance. So watch this. Drop, boom. See what happens to the glider? If I drop my stance, the glider shoots forward. Now remember me telling you, stop jumping up and down. Is everybody going up and down and up? That's what's happening. If I raise my stance, the glider will fall away from me. Boom. That's how I unload the glider. So how do I stop the glider from surging? I raise my stance to unload the glider, and I can either walk towards it or I can back away from it depending on where it is in the loading. So here we go. We're going to make it surge. Here we go. I'm going to drop my stance, boom, make it surge. I'm going to back up and then raise my stance to my tippy toes, unload the glider. As soon as it's falling away from me, I can run it back downwind. Bam. So it's about raising and lowering your stance. Raising and lowering. So even though I have no brakes, I raise and lower my stance. If I feel a gust hitting and it starts loading the glider, I'm gonna raise my stance and run downwind to unload, to kill the surge.
It seems you're on your toes mostly all the time.
If the wind picks up 3 miles an hour, if I instantly run downwind 3 miles an hour, I just eliminated that. And so, but you have to do it at the right time. If I do it at the wrong time, obviously I'm running under my glider and it'll collapse. So you have to time it when the glider's falling away from you. So the glider's going forward, so I have to outrun it. As soon as I get it balanced, bam, and it's falling away from me, now I can run towards it. Boom, it's surging, raise my stance, back up, slow, slow, slow. No sharp edges. You don't run, stop, It's an accelerate, de-accelerate, accelerate, de-accelerate. So I start.
Show them your riser changing up and down too when you're leaning. I mean, they've probably seen it a little bit.
Oh, this is, yeah, if you look at the height of these risers, that's where you can really tell if what you're doing is working. So if I weight shift and nothing happens, it's kind of hard. I'm trying to weight shift wrong. Let me try and weight shift wrong. So I'm leaning, but nothing's happening.
Or you squat.
Because I rolled my butt the same way I leaned, and so they canceled each other out. But if you do it the right way, here we go, chest in the risers, bam, bam, bam. If I lean the correct way, you'll see this riser gets shorter than the other riser. Boom, a lot shorter.
Huge difference
Yeah.
between this morning.
So if I drop the glider that way, I can weight shift, boom, roll the hips. Weight shift.
Demonstrate the difference
Lift that
between
butt up.
twisting and weight shifting.
Okay, there's a, yeah, that's the one
line
we're
is a
always
fine
yelling. If I turn, nothing happens. If I turn, they're not changing. I'm not actually making a correction because the glider's above me. So you cannot turn, you have to lean. And when you lean, I have to roll my butt the other way. So glider goes right, I lean right, and I pick my butt up to the left. Boom. There we go.
And your foot's coming off the ground a lot of the time.
If I need maximum, yeah, I can actually literally pick my leg up.
Yeah.
Because it's not about contorting your body, it's about making your seat board go sideways. Because the glider, the carabiners are connected. This strap is connected directly to the side of the seat board. So to weight shift, I need this side of the seat board to go down, the other side to go up. And so if I lift that butt, that's exactly what happens. I can also lean though. So if I lean, I can get the same effect without having to pick up a leg, because you can't run with one leg off the ground. That doesn't work. So it depends on if you're trying to stay stationary, if you're running. If I want to run, then I have to just lean and turn my legs like a turret. So I'm going to weight shift, make the glider fall this way. I lean, and then I can run that way. Boom. Lean and run that way. Let's try that again. So I weight shift left, make the glider go right, and then I can lean and run that way. Boom. Turn the legs like a tank so that my legs are actually running the direction I'm pointing, or my feet point the direction I'm going. There we go. Glider goes this way. I lean this way, and my feet are going that way, if you notice.
Even his run is smooth. He's not jerking when he
Smooth.
runs.
Yeah, no bouncing. Everybody wants to side hop. But notice I don't side hop. My feet actually point the direction I'm going. So, sorry. There we go. So glider goes right. My chest stays forward. My hips turn like an army tank. And I can run that way. Boom. Lean it that way, it goes this way. And then my hips turn that way, and I run that way.
And now touch your weight tip to the ground and then cover with weight shift.
All with no hands. Let's see if it's smooth enough here. Okay, here we go. So, there we go.
Sorry.
I've never seen him sprint like that.
Literally bring the glider down, bring it up, all with no hands. Let's do a pull-up with no hands just for fun here.
Watch the butt drops a ball.
Notice the glider didn't surge and overfly me. Where very commonly when you guys bring your glider up, it shoots over the top of you and like collapses and like falls in front of you. That's all surge control. So at first I pull really hard and load the glider really hard to shoot the glider off the ground, because you need quite a bit of a kick to get it started off the ground. But as soon as it starts coming up, I can then quickly slide towards it and unload it more and more, so it has less and less loading as it comes up, so it stops dead without me even having to hit the brakes. So watch kind of the loading control as the glider comes up. So I gotta hit it real hard at first. Boom, oops. And then unload it. That's kind of ugly. Try that again. And then of course, as it unloads, I also outrun the glider. All the pieces together. As you can see, just one piece is good and you can do something, but if you add all the pieces,
Smooth.
then yeah, then you got the whole enchilada there. Yeah, okay, oh, there we go. Okay, all right. So again, I controlled the loading by how hard I pull on the risers. And I can do the same thing when I'm lifting the A's, but I do it partly with my body and partly with how hard I lift on the A's. You'll notice me ease off the pressure as the glider gets higher and higher. If you keep pulling the whole way up, it's just gonna overshoot you like crazy and even rip you off your feet. So let's try that one. Go. Boom. Lift with A's and lift and ease off. And then as soon as it unloads, notice I immediately go backwards. So as soon as it's up and you feel that load coming, you don't just stand there. You got to move away from it and go with it so it doesn't overfly you.
Right?
Yeah, it's all about hanging your body weight and keeping it properly loaded and being smooth, no bouncing. I mean, listen to the glider. If you hear a cloth sound, you're being way too bouncy. It should be smooth as can be. So if I do it with no hands or whatever, you shouldn't hear any cloth sound. It should be all smooth. I make movements and I can move quickly, but not jerk it. Quick but smooth. Careful, Troy, I'm in front of you. Boom, yeah. So now let's fly a circle around everybody. Walk downwind, you make shift right to drop over to the right again. And Troy's probably going to go in front of me while I'm going no hands. And here we go. Now I need to kite it downwind so I get the loading balanced and walk it downwind. And that's how you basically fly